Hello, today we're going to take a look at worksheet 2.2. I'm going to give you some pointers on how to complete this worksheet. Hopefully this is helpful to you. What we're looking at here is a production budget for corn and soybeans, and what we're going to look at is the various outcomes that we can anticipate with various yield production. And so let's go ahead and get started. As you see here, I have a corn budget listed for you with all the expenses for the year. We can predict pretty close what those expenses are going to be for the year. Once we buy our seed, fertilizer, pay our rent, for example, those costs are locked in. So let's go ahead and add those up. When we do that, I come up with a total of $695 per acre for the corn production. Now what I want you to do is figure out our break-even price, also known as cost of production per bushel of corn. What I've listed here is various outcomes: 120 bushel per acre output all the way up to 210. Okay, to figure out my break-even price or my cost of production, I simply take cost divided by bushels. And our answer is going to be in terms of cost per bushel. So $695 divided by $120 bushels, yields us a cost of production of $5.79. Now, as you can see, as we go up in production, what's going to happen to our cost of production is that it's going to decrease. If we yield with the same cost, if we yield, the variable being weather, of course, if we yield 210 bushels per acre on the same investment of $695 per acre, we yield a cost per bushel of $3.31. So, pretty simple. Now in question 2, I ask you to make the adjustment if drying costs increase. That's one cost that's kind of hard to predict because we don't know if we're going to have a year where the corn comes out of the field wet or it's going to be dry. Well, in this case, we predicted a drying cost of $50 an acre. Okay, in scenario 2 here, we have a drying cost of $80 an acre. So we had a wet year, wetter than expected. So we increased drying costs by $30. $695 plus 30 gives us a new total per acre of $725. Okay, same way. We're gonna figure this out the same way. Instead of 695 divided by 120, now it's 725 divided by 120. And when we do that, that yields us a cost per bushel of $6.04. At the other end of the spectrum, if we have great yields, 210 bushel per acre, that yields us an expense of $3.45 a bushel. So you can see the obvious difference here. We have a major difference in cost per bushel as we increase production. You'll do problem 3 the same way, except this time we decrease. It was a dry year. We had very low drying cost. That's $30 less than the $50 we predicted. So $695 minus $30 yields us a new cost of production per acre of $665. So we're going to take, for example, 665 divided by 120 bushels gives us a cost of $5.46 a bushel, much lower than what we found in problem 2. Now what I want you to do is figure out the profit or loss per acre using the above budgeting cost if the selling price is $5 a bushel. So what we need to do now is take our cost per bushel from problem 1, 579 and 331. Of course, you're going to figure it out for every one of these. But 579 was our cost of production at 120 bushels per acre. Our cost of production at 210 bushels per acre was 331. Now, what's my profit or loss per bushel? I tell you right here, the selling price was $5 a bushel. Well, it cost us $5.79, so we lost 79 cents a bushel. Not much fun. It happens. We lost 79 cents a bushel, so if I want to convert that to profit or loss per acre, I just simply take the 79-cent loss per bushel times 120 bushels, and that would be $95. Over here on the bright side of things, if we have a good yield at 210 bushels per acre, we have a cost of production of $3.31. We're selling the corn for $5, so that's a great thing. We're making $1.69 a bushel. If we want to convert that to profit per acre, we just simply take $1.69 per bushel times 210 bushel. When we do that, we get a whopping $354.90 per acre. If we want to know for our entire farming operation, obviously we take our profit per acre times number of acres. So on the next problems, you'll see that you will be doing very, very, very similar problems. And same way, profit or loss. This is actually $94.80. Sorry about that. Take their profit or loss per bushel and then per acre. Again, we're going to use the same cost of production, $5.79 all the way up here to $3.31. Our profit per bushel here, it'd be a loss of 29 cents. Here, we profit $2.19. Our loss per acre here, it's $35. Our profit per acre here, this is going to be fun, $460. You do the same thing here with a selling price of $4.50. Okay, come down to soybeans, it's the same thing again. And I'll just go ahead and tell you that as we add up costs for the soybeans, it's a total of $464 an acre. Here we're going to break that down to cost per bushel. Again, how do you do that? 464 divided by 25. That's a whopping $18.56 a bushel here. If we have a great yield of 65 bushel per acre with the same input costs, we have a modest $7.14 cost. So you can see tremendous variance in cost of production here as yield goes up. Number two, we're going to figure out, again, just like the previous corn example, we're going to figure out our profit or loss per acre. Here we have a selling price of $13 a bushel. Wouldn't that be great? Just had that a few years ago here. Again, our cost of production at 25 bushel per acre, $18.56 here, $7.14 here. My profit per bushel here is actually a loss, $5.56. Here it's a gain. We make $5.86 a bushel. Profit per acre or loss per acre is found by taking our profit or loss per bushel times number of bushels. So $5.50 loss times 25 bushels is a loss of $139 even. Here we have a profit, $381. Huge variance in total profit per acre, as you can see. We're going to do the same thing then on number 3, except using a price of $14.50. Same type of math on number 4, except we're using a price of $11.50. So it should be pretty straightforward by now. Which enterprise then presents the most risk using the above data? Take a look at it. Use your skills to figure out which one you think is more risky. Hope this was helpful, and I wish you the best of luck on this assignment.